You found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition of the Basilio Show is on the way next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com.
No, it's still not hearing you.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340 WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Tony Basilio and you, as we're live with you, ladies and gentlemen, breaking it down scientifically. I want a special thanks today to Russell W. and also Ryan today for coming out here and rolling out the red carpet where we be. This is it, ladies and gentlemen, the day we've all been waiting for. We're going to ring out the new year in absolute style, or ring out the old year and ring in the new year with some Tennessee football. And today, the place to watch it and hang out with us, the whole gang, is at your Tennessee Tap House, as we're live with you all day as a prelude to the festivities later on this afternoon. We're live with you leading up to the playbook with the great William Pattison and then the drive with Dubsy and the gang. We are live today here making it happen. Tennessee Tap House, where we be, and we got the full band today. We got bass, drums, a horn section up on the stage here being Star. What are you? Are you the bass drums or the horn section?
I'll be the horn section, Tony.
Like Sam and Dave, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
You got it. So every once in a while when I look over, I just go dun 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 dun. Matt Dixon, K. Pasa, when do you leave, brother, for Nashville?
I'm not going. I couldn't miss this.
Huh?
Doing the show on remote, that trumps the bowl game.
Matt Diskin, you you have a great report on today's game. This thing feels like it's going to be a high-scoring football game, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. With two quarterbacks that can take advantage of some poor secondaries.
Yep.
Tennessee's is even more depleted than it has. Or both of them, I guess, really are. Their best player in the secondaries out, and
Yep.
you got kind of showcased two senior quarterbacks in their last college starts. Despite the kind of poor weather, and I think it'll be another high-scoring game. Probably not like that Purdue game quite, but should be into the mid-30s, I would say.
Some of the college and NFL games we've seen here recently, and the games play the elements, this time of the year when you're playing these cold weather deals. As long as the wind isn't awful,
Yeah.
these teams are going to be able to throw the ball tonight. Now, they say they've simplified our defense, and, I don't know what that means after the Vanderbilt game, simplifying what. I do want to say this. You come out today, Ryan and the gang here at Fan Run Radio have rolled out the red carpet. There is so much swag over there on that table. Sweatshirts. Bino, did you get you a sweatshirt?
I did.
Bino, all the time we've been together, Bino.
Yes, sir.
How many times have I ever hooked you up with a sweatshirt in 25 years?
Well, we've gone places, Tony, where you allowed me to have a sweatshirt. Didn't have your name on it, but
Interesting.
grabbed a couple at Smoothie King and
Interesting. All right, so Brian's telling me I'm way too loud. Let me get dialed in here. It's absolutely a beautiful thing to be alongside Matt Diskin and Bino Jeff, and of course we're going to be working live tonight after the game on our post game. But games because we're playing basketball tonight.
Yep. Did Brian get a guess to break down South Carolina State?
What I've been told, Matt, is that we're and John Adams, by the way, presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com, is in the studio. So we'll be coming to John here momentarily. And so we got a three-pronged week this week, right? We talked about this yesterday. But you got today's game. Anytime you take the field, it's significant. And then we got the playoffs a couple days, but the portal opens Friday, and that's when the madness begins. And Matt, what are you most looking forward to? Because Bino and I were talking a second ago. The portal is hang on, I have to get another channel here. Of the three, what are you looking forward to?
Oh, Tennessee's game today, by far, and then the playoff games above the portal. I mean, I don't follow, I never followed high school recruiting very much, and the portal's kind of the same thing, just a little bit. It's just kind of a different time of year. So, I mean, it's obviously very, very important, and Tennessee's got to do well. I'll keep track of that more than I did the high school stuff, but, I mean, the actual games always trump that for me.
Yeah, I want to talk about this on the other side because I think in just kind of poking around on where this thing's going to go, I saw a couple of projections where the top line guys, a couple experts, didn't link Tennessee with any of these guys that we've been kind of talking about. And so I was kind of poking around, and I don't know if Tennessee feels it's going to be the right thing to do to overspend for one of these guys versus doing your homework on somebody like this Chambliss guy and finding somebody that fits your needs, or if the McIntyre guy can gain weight, which that's been a theme here. He's got to get a little bigger, but if he can gain some weight, kind of rolling with him, they don't feel, Matt, like it'd be a real smart thing when you have so many holes on defense to spend $5 million on this kid from Cincinnati. I agree with them.
I do too. I mean, I think there's very few quarterbacks that are in the portal that I think would be wise to quote unquote overspend on.
Yeah.
After the top 3 or 4 guys that you think fit your system, the rest of them are just kind of guys.
What do you think, Beanstar?
Yeah, right out of the chute, I was hopeful that we could stay in the Levitt sweepstakes.
Yeah.
But not at $4 and $5 million. No way in the world. I mean, this is a guy you don't know exactly what his physical stature is going to be.
That's exactly right.
Coming off of that injury, this is probably a blessing in disguise that Tennessee's been kind of pushed down to the second level.
If you'll notice, the Calandro guy from UNLV's name has kind of been linked with Tennessee. His agent, and there are some other agents of some guys that are trying to get that level of QB involved with the Vols. Now, I don't want him, but when he played us when he was with Virginia and he played us, he wasn't terrible. Like, you could take a guy like that and make a quarterback out of him. I don't know if he's the guy I would want. But, Matt, one thing that Ole Miss proved this year, and we'll talk about this on the other side, because I want to talk about kind of resetting the board and where some of these guys are supposed to be going. You talked about Levitt. We were talking to that agent that been helping me, said that Oregon right now is probably going to jump on him. And I don't understand that, because if I had a lot of money, I don't know that I would jump on a guy coming off of surgery like that hasn't been able to stay healthy. That's a gamble. Who's not a great player to begin with. The Becht guy is interesting. But I don't know that he excites anybody. I don't know. It's going to be real interesting to see. Friday the deal opens. We'll see. We'll bring John Adams in on the other side. We'll do it all. We continue with more on the other side after this.
Living Vol fan, make Alumni Hall your one-stop shop for all your Vol fans on your shopping list this holiday season. There's nothing better than getting your favorite Tennessee gear under the tree. Picture it, a nice polo shirt, a new hoodie, something for the man cave. Pop in and see my friends at Alumni Hall. Best selection of Tennessee gear. Alumni Hall, 3 Knoxville locations. Bristol, Johnson City, Murfreesboro, or online at alumnihall.com. It's easy to have a big orange Christmas. And happy holidays from everyone at Alumni Hall. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall. Calhoun's invites you to leave the cooking to us all holiday season long. Between now and the end of the year, feast without the fuss. When you host at the holidays, don't you dare cook. Go absolutely next level with this offer. Between now and the first of the year, Calhoun's is offering an incredible deal on delicious turkey or prime rib dinner. You could feed from 5 to 10 people at your home holiday gathering, not lift a finger of preparation. The turkey dinner comes with amazing sides like mashed potatoes, peas, melt-in-your-mouth gravy, dressing to die for, fresh rolls, cranberry sauce, and homemade cheesecake. And that prime rib dinner features amazing melt-in-your-mouth prime rib, fresh mashed potatoes, au jus, green beans, gravy, rolls, horseradish sauce, and delicious fresh baked cheesecake. This amazing offering is available now through the new year. Call to place your order today. More information found at holidayfeedpack.com. Again, that's holidayfeedpack.com. Feast without the fuss this holiday season with Calhoun's, the taste of Tennessee.
When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com, or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage.
Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Cold weather is on its way, and keeping your home warm and cozy doesn't have to cost a fortune. Upgrade your HVAC system with Pipe Wrench Home Services and get payments as low as $137 per month. You'll also save on utility bills with a new energy-efficient HVAC system to keep your home warm and comfortable through the holidays. We make it easy with free on-site estimates on replacements and free second opinions on repairs. So call or schedule your appointment online today at pipewrench.com. And get a new energy-saving HVAC system for as little as $137 per month. We are committed to keeping your home cozy and worry-free this holiday season. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. Offer good with approved credit. Some restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Tony Basilio, proud to bring to you Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Alan, 'tis the season of giving, and you're in a giving mood.
We're in a giving mood, Tony. We're extending this sale, this 40% off sale. And to the Tony Basilio loyal listeners, of course, we're going to do the 45% off using code word Tony. And because it's the time for giving, if you use that Dave promo code, we're going to give you 45% off. But get this, Tony. We're not going to give you a warranty. We ain't going to give you a warranty because we know if you use a Dave promo, you're going to have problems with your floor.
The great thing, though, with the Supercore floor, Alan, and you've proven this over at YouTube, is it's hard to have problems with your floor.
It's hard to have problems, yes, Tony. We don't have claims. I mean, we literally don't. We've got a remarkable product. It's waterproof, pet-proof. It's even mother-in-law proof for the holidays. So there you go. We have 120 different Supercore floors. It's all got a lifetime warranty. Room visualizer. You can take a picture of your room, drop our floor right into it. We've got all this stuff in stock here in Johnson City. We ship nationwide for free.
120 Supercore floors, 45% off through the new year. Alan at WeShipFloors.com. Anything else for us?
Go Vols, Tony.
Love it. WeShipFloors.com.
It's absolutely outstanding as we welcome you back here on a Tuesday, and it's pretty exciting. The Music City Bowl, we're out here today celebrating the occasion at your Tennessee Tap House. All day long, this show leads you up to the playbook with the great William Pattison, and then Dubsy with the drive. Dubsy was just in here a moment ago. That guy's the hardest working man at show business. We're at 350 North Peters Road. Where we be, I got Matt Diskin in the house, along with Bino, Jeff Henderson. I got John Adams in the studio, and we got Adam Sparks on the line. Hey, John, should we introduce you or just go right to Adam Sparks? It's your choice, John. You tell me how we're going to do this.
Well, why don't you go to Adam? Because I already feel like a Christmas tree ornament. I'm just kind of sitting here while the show's going on. Just go ahead and go to Adam.
Would he be a star, Bino? If John were an ornament, what would he be?
Star, angel, something like that.
John, anybody ever called you an angel?
No.
Adam, if John were, say, an ornament, you're kind of a writer, Adam. What ornament would John be?
Yeah. And well, I don't know, an angel. You know, I used to have I'm sort of a bah humbug type, and for years I had a black Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And so he would be the angel on top of a black Christmas tree.
Boy, that's dark.
Just a highlight of something that's dark and gloomy.
Thanks, Adam. That's
really,
quite a compliment.
Yeah, it's really uplifting.
Sort of the best of the worst.
It's amazing to me now, Adam.
If you check his inbox, I think that's probably some of the tone sometimes he gets in response to his columns.
I'm thinking that John, you would be like a sickle, one of those really kind of, those like hideous sickles that hang at the top of a tree. Bino, you ever seen one of those things, like a jagged sickle?
Jagged sickle.
Anyway,
what are you talking about?
Adam, let's talk about today. Adam, how is today's game? Not high scoring?
Well, yesterday, Illinois' offensive coordinator sort of hammered home the fact that they don't think they win the game without running the ball, and that's how they win the game. Josh Heupel, we know this year, has had games where we thought they would start fast, and you would think they were just going to, score 50 or 60, but instead they would just sit on the lead and run the ball. So that could happen. Whichever team gets up early just says, hey, it's been a long season. It's cold. It's windy. We got to get to this portal in a few days. So let's just sit on the lead, run the ball, and win by 10. I think that could happen. If either team is up a couple of scores at the half, I could see either coach just sort of getting to the finish line as quick as possible.
Illinois hadn't been able to run the ball very much with success this year. I think they have kind of a three-headed monster. They rotate three guys, but I mean they don't run the ball very much at all. I kind of think they're just going to become pretty one-dimensional, especially if Tennessee gets one of those hyper fast starts and scores a couple of early touchdowns, and they just put it all on Luke Altmaier.
Yeah, I mean Altmaier definitely you would think would test Tennessee's secondary early on. I mean. He's had a good, not great year. I think Altmaier, we expected a little more out of him this year, but they can read a depth chart. And Ty Redmond had a solid finish to his freshman season, but there were there's definitely vulnerabilities to him, especially if he's your top corner. And then Trey Poteet's going to be out there, a freshman who's barely played this year on defense. There were already issues in the secondary to begin with. Not be as good as it's been because Joshua Josephs is out and Arian Carter is out. We asked some of Tennessee's players about how they're going to compensate for the youth, some of the inexperience at key positions of defense, and take it for what it's worth. But they said we're not going to change anything. Our communication is going to be the same. We don't think there'll be any hiccups to that. Well, there are communication issues with the older players in the secondary. So if you're now plugging in freshmen, I think there's some pretty good chances there could be some busts on the back end. I'm sure Luke Altmaier, at least for his experience, I think will be able to recognize those.
Tony, I can't get into the intricacies of the game like Matt and Adam, but I'll tell you this: I bet the over yesterday, so that'll keep it low scoring.
Well, I mean, there you go. So something to share with everyone. John, do you get a sense? Because, John, they're talking about how they've simplified things leading up to this game, whatever that means. It cannot be any worse than what we saw the last time the Vols took the field on defense, John. I don't care who's out there.
I thought the defense was incredibly simple against Vanderbilt.
Adam, do you have a thought on that?
Yesterday, William Inge told us that they're going to try to run most of what Tim Banks ran, just because that's their base, that's their scheme. They're not going to change too much of. But he said he's going to sprinkle in some things that he had done in the past, especially at Washington. Josh Heupel said the same thing. So there's always that delicate balance of how much do you do that's familiar with players, and you want to do something different because the defense struggled this year. But how much new do you want to put on them in what was essentially about a dozen practices, some of which involved a lot of young players. So. We'll see. I think it'll be a lot of trial and error early on, and you just have to do anything you can to protect those guys in the secondary.
Tennessee Tap House, where we be. Come on out. We're here all day. The Fan Run Radio crew. It's unbelievable, Andy. As we visit today, Adam Sparks of the News Sentinel joining us on our Newsmaker hotline. John Adams is in studio. Matt Diskin is next to me, along with the great. What do we call him? Oh, Bino Jeff Henderson. Actually, he's the great Matt Dixon. But, you talk, Inge, his name came up. Is he coaching his final game with the Vols this year if you're betting? What do you think? Because people are asking me about Inge. What's going to happen there?
Well, the funny thing is we're sitting there with some of the Illinois media yesterday between the pressers, and Brett Bielema came out and was talking about William Inge and called him Billy. Because they were teammates at Iowa many years ago, and so he didn't call him William, but called him Billy. I think they were locker mates, and he kept talking a lot about him, how he loves the guy, he's a good coach, very familiar with him, long relationship and all that. And then in between the pressers, we were talking to some of the Illinois people, and we were like, "Is he going to be on Bielema's staff in 2 weeks?" Because it sounded like he was trying to lure him in a little bit. It would be hard to think that Jim Knowles would not make any changes to the staff. Now, Rodney Garner, I think it'll come out in the next few days that Rodney Garner is under a new deal. So I think he comes back. Does Willie Martinez come back for one more year? You could easily see him retiring. There could be some changes with analysts that are on the staff. That's the other thing that people don't realize in this era of college football. I mean, they're not all analysts, but Josh Heupel has 48, count them, 48 support staff members. A lot of those guys are, people that aren't necessarily coaching players, but a lot of them are, and you can change 5 or 6 analysts and that be your staff changes and not make as many changes as the position coaches. But I think a couple of defensive coaches could be gone, and Inge easily could be one of them.
So, one name we're hearing is this guy Poindexter from Penn State, who did not get the D.C. job yesterday, who we know at Penn State because D'Anton Lynn did, but we know that our new D.C., Jim Knowles, is extremely fond of him Adam, are you hearing his name in terms of possibly moving with Jim Knowles to Knoxville?
Yeah. I've heard that name. Obviously, a lot of us have. It's sort of one of those things where it just makes sense. Checks the boxes. A guy who looks to be available. A guy who has a good relationship with Knowles. A guy that has a resume. A guy that is familiar with the system. And I think there's got to be some value onto that. I mean, obviously, everybody celebrated Jim Knowles being hired by Tennessee because we say, hey, that's a guy who won a national title. That's a guy who's been one of the better defensive coordinators of the last, 15 years of college football. But then you quickly go to the detracting side, which is, well, it usually takes year 2 for the defense to really flash. So that means the faster, the more familiarity you have in the scheme and in the staff, maybe the faster it moves along. So you could see him adding somebody that could speed up that process. I know when he came to Penn State, he said he had found some shortcuts over the years to implement his defense quicker. So I'm sure that could help out. But here's the thing. I mean, regardless of who Tennessee changes on the staff, how many new guys they bring in, how many guys they keep. I mean, I think Rodney Garner is the key as far as guys that you keep. And I think they're going to do that. But I think a lot of it comes down to talent. I mean, Jim Knowles needs a lockdown, control the middle of the field safety. That guy is not on the roster right now. They have to go get that guy. You need a nickelback. Jalen McMurray is going to be gone after this game. Boo Carter's already gone. So there is no nickelback on this team to start next year. You got to go get that guy. You may need another corner. We'll see what he thinks of his linebackers. He could just keep that as it is if he likes the young linebackers. They've got some pieces coming back on the defensive line, but, I mean, they're losing, I think it's 5 veterans up front. So you've got to add some pieces there. And then you've got to balance all that out with, maybe paying a lot of money on for a quarterback. How much money do they have to spend? You've got to spend money on the quarterback. But I'm sure when Jim Knowles came, Josh Heupel probably told him, hey, we've got money to spend, and we got a lot of needs on defense, so you're going to get to control a lot of that. Jim Knowles is not here. At least he hadn't been here up through yesterday in Nashville. And I would imagine a lot of what he's doing is, watching film of the guys that he's inheriting. He's already watched them in practice, but he's going to be watching them in game film to decide who he thinks he can implement into a system, and B, looking into the guys that are hopping in the portal and trying to identify, players that will be high priorities, where he tells Josh Heupel, we have to get that guy for my defense to work.
The great Adam Sparks joining, and Adam, I love you and I appreciate you, brother. All the great stuff you've done for us. Oh, Christmas tree in studio. Thoughts?
Are you talking to me, Tony?
You called yourself the Christmas tree earlier, or something of that.
No, I said a Christmas tree ornament.
Oh, ornament.
Yeah.
How happy are your branches? Give me some your thoughts here.
Well, yeah, through the years in the SEC, I've seen a lot of defensive coordinators come into the league, teams I covered, teams that were with other teams in the conference, coaches who were with other teams in the conference. And when I hear Coach talk about he has a complex system, that bothers me usually in the SEC. I just think of SEC guys, the best defenses are real aggressive, and they aren't that complex. I'm not speaking about everybody. I'm sure Kirby Smart does a lot of things differently, and maybe his system is somewhat complex. But I do know when you've got the kind of defensive tackles he's had in the past, you can control a game. And I don't know how complex his defense was when he won 2 national titles. But that always concerns me. And when you talk about things don't really kick in with Jim Knowles until the second season, you don't really get things really cooking until the second season. If I'm in Josh Heupel's shoes, that would concern me a lot. I would be saying, if I'm hiring Jim Knowles, I'm saying, Jim, we need to be good right away defensively. That's important. With what just happened this year, it was a disappointing season, and now we're going into a season where our schedule will be markedly more difficult. So I would think they've had that conversation. What can we do to expedite and move things along? And maybe part of that is the transfer portal, is getting a handful of guys in the portal that can play this kind of defense and are comfortable in it.
Well, and I don't know if you guys have watched any of the – if you go on YouTube, you can see some X's and O's breakdowns of Jim Knowles' Ohio State defense. These are a year old because it was done by a lot of guys when he went to Penn State. When he was going to Penn State, they were explaining his defense. And if you watch those, boy, it's a clinic in defensive coaching. You can see all the intricacies of how he outsmarts opposing offensive coordinators, makes it really, really difficult for opposing quarterbacks. But every time they would pause that tape on those coaching clinic videos, they would name a player that was making the impactful play, and it was either a 5-star or as an All-American. And that's the thing. A lot of it was Caleb Downs. And you say, well, okay, I see how that works. I see, why he's a genius of a defensive coach. But he's also doing that with players that are better than the competition. And so for whatever he does, they have to go get some stud players in the transfer portal or develop these younger guys quicker, probably both.
Adam, it's such an interesting thing because there's a million moving parts. And John's right. This guy has the book on him that he gets complicated early on, but surely they all realize that the fact that you don't get 3 years, you don't get 2 years, you get next year, and that's why everybody's spending like they're spending. And let me ask you this, because we're going to get a glimpse of tomorrow today. Randarius Jackson, how many targets, if you had to guess, do you think he gets today in the game?
8, something like that. I mean, here's the thing: is that with Brazel out, how many targets does Staley get? I mean, he usually gets a bunch, but there's usually Brazel running over the top, and some of Mac Matthews running over the top that clears it out for Braylon Staley. So is he locked down a little more than he's used to, and so then Randarius Jackson gets more targets because your third option becomes your first option on a lot of plays. So I think that's one question. And if he is targeted because he's sort of the weak link of the receiving core, does he catch it? Does he produce? I mean, Travis Smith and Randarius Jackson both are going to play. They played a little bit this year. They had a few drops. They've had some injuries. I understand that they're freshmen. But they do have ability. And if Randarius Jackson makes a couple of catches early on, I think that's going to really affect how Illinois approaches this passing attack, because they don't really know much about him. I mean, we don't know much about him, but Illinois didn't know what to expect from him. And if he makes one deep catch and suddenly they say, "Oh, this is their next Chris Brazel," that sort of changes everything. It changes everything for Tennessee's season next year too. If you had to pick out positions that are not needs in the portal, I mean, I don't know that there's one that doesn't need help like wide receiver. I mean, wide receiver, I think they're set next year as long as nobody jumps in the portal. Wide receiver's fine, tight end's fine. Offensive line, you may not need to add anybody. And as Randarius Jackson or Travis Smith plays well in this game, you'll feel even better about that.
Does Tennessee belly up to the bar for Matthews if he wants some extra cash?
Boy, I mean, how much is extra cash? You know what I mean? I mean, you can bump up a guy a little bit. It seems like every off season this is sort of a narrative. Matthews and Staley have a really, really good relationship. They see themselves as a duo. But, yeah, we kind of hear these rumblings every offseason. I will say this, and this ties into Matthews, the quarterback, how much money they're going to spend on defense, and how good Knowles' defense could be. I think you can tie all this together by asking the question, if Tennessee is a playoff team next year, is it because the offense scored 40 a game and the defense was middle of the pack in the SEC? Or do you do it, with a middle-of-the-pack offense like they had last year and a really, really good defense that you spend an enormous amount of money on? I tend to think it's the first one, which is probably makes some interesting conversations in the coaching room over there, because I think deep down Josh Heupel knows that his best chance of getting to the playoff looks a lot more like 2022 than it does 2024. I think 2022 seems like you can replicate that more, which, makes them tough decisions of how much money do you want to spend on the quarterback and maybe wide receiver if you need to pay Matthews more, and how much versus how much you're willing to spend on defense. How much better can that defense be if you spend an enormous amount of money? I don't know that it's going to be elite this year, under Knowles or anybody else. I think the offense could be really, really good if you have the right quarterback and you can keep those wide receivers there.
Adam, do you think Tennessee's in the market for running back? And if so, is it a horse or is it a complimentary piece?
Yeah, they have to get somebody, I think. I asked Deshaun Bishop about that a couple of years ago, and you could see his body language seemed to say he was a little surprised. I think he hasn't thought through that. But they've only got 3 coming back, and they've never had fewer than 4. They usually have 5 scholarship running backs. They wanted to sign one in this class. They didn't. So if you get Deshaun Bishop and 2 freshmen coming back, then you've got to add somebody just to add somebody. I would think they would want a guy with some pop to him. I mean, some speed. I think Deshaun Bishop, they feel comfortable with him between the tackles. But he's not Jalen Wright. He's not a guy that's going to make one cut and beat everybody on the field to the end zone. So I think they're going to look for some speed and probably look for a guy who can catch the ball out of the backfield, because Star Thomas gave them a little bit of that this year, but there were way too many drops from running backs that could have been big plays. And so I think they'll initially try to get a guy with some speed, a breakaway guy who can also catch the ball. Now, DeJuan Morris may be that guy. They feel like he's got that potential, but, unless he shows it today, we just haven't seen it yet during this freshman season.
Adam, I don't envy you once Friday hits. Today's kind of fun. It's a fun day. Boy, this thing is going to be an absolute circus, man, isn't it, for about 3 weeks here?
I think I tell you this every year, but, the way we all do this is we do what we call pre-writes. You write about guys going into the portal or getting pulled out of the portal, and you write all those, beforehand. And I think I had something like 22 pre-writes on guys going into the portal. I think I've been right on 5 of them so far, so maybe more are coming. But there's just so many possibilities, because every year you can look at the roster and pick out about a dozen guys that you feel like probably will go into the portal. You can just kind of, the guy that you thought was going to be something, he hasn't panned out, and he's been here for a couple of years. But then there's always 1 or 2 that are like, wait, him? That guy's going? Why would that guy go in the portal? And so, there'll be a couple of those too, and it'll happen. Probably tomorrow morning, guys will get home. They actually don't have to stay here. Guys can leave after the bowl if they want. So some of these guys will be home by late tonight, depending on how close they live, early tomorrow morning. And then you'll start to see some announcements roll out if those are going to happen. Certainly some will happen. Some guys are playing this game knowing that they're going to be hopping in the portal in a few days.
Well, I know this. Here, there, and everywhere, it's going to be a total circus. And God knows some of the stories, but the behind-the-scenes stuff that's going to go on. But, Adam, I appreciate you jumping in with us today. It's great to visit with you. And one final thought: how many like trick plays, gadget plays? Do the Vols have some fun today since it's a bowl game? What do you think?
Yeah, I think they could. I think Josh Heupel's going to go for it on 4th as much as he as he can. I don't think Josh Heupel wants to lose this game and answer questions about, missing a 38-yard field goal on 4th and 2. So I think he's going to be pretty aggressive in a number of ways. And what does he have to lose? This is a game they absolutely have to win. Just for the verb that I think about is salvage, to salvage the season, because Tennessee this year is 7-0 against FBS teams with a losing record, and they're 0-4 against FBS teams with a winning record. So you've beat bad teams, you've lost to all the good teams. This is a good team. You got to beat this good team. You can't come away with this and say you were 8-5 and you didn't beat anybody. This is your chance to beat somebody.
Salvage can also be a noun, right? Like if you finish 8-5, that's salvage too.
But, that's right. Depends on how you use it.
Yeah. Thank you, Adam. Love you, man. Appreciate you,
brother.
All right,
guys. You have a good one.
Adam Sparks, my news sentinel. John Adams in the studio. Now, Adam got me thinking. He just said a second ago, why wouldn't you take the side of the football that's stronger and build it up next year instead of putting all your money on defense? And he was talking about adding a quarterback. John, does he make a good point? Or if you're Tennessee, are you better off getting a quarterback you can work with? Because the market is crazy. I mean, these guys, look, the guy Texas Tech's going to pay $4.5 million to, I'm sorry to tell you, he's not a $4.5 million player. Just like Nate Ament's not a $4 million basketball player. No offense to Nate Ament. He ain't worth $4 million this year. But, hey, if somebody's willing to pay it, somebody's going to pay it. But that leaves a lot less money to go around. Adam thinks they ought to build up their offense because they're more complete there. What do you think, John?
Well, I think ideally you spend money on both sides of the ball. I think some schools will be able to do that, Texas Tech being one. I think if Tennessee is having a lot of money and a lot of money to spend. But I really liked what Adam was saying. You look at offense. Heupel's teams in 5 years here have averaged around 40 points a game overall. He's had, he wasn't as good in 24 as he was certainly as in 22 or even 21. But overall, he could get about 40 points. And he's done this, and we've talked about this before. He's done this, I would say, Dylan Sampson has been Tennessee's best running back. He's a top-tier running back. He was an SEC Offensive Player of the Year. I would like to have that kind of running back. I look at some of these running backs going to the portal, Jacksonville State guy, the North Texas State running back. Go back to last year with Ahmad Hardy at Louisiana Monroe. I mean, I didn't know how good that guy was. He had great numbers, but he's playing at Louisiana Monroe. What does he do? He comes in the SEC at Missouri, and he's one of the best running backs in the country. If Tennessee could get a running back like that and get a top-tier quarterback and get a wide receiver, just like Georgia did this past year, I know Tennessee's receivers turned out okay this year, but they still didn't have a guy that scares a defense. A guy that might turn a 20-yard completion into a 50-yard touchdown. If you could get that kind of guy, what if you added those kind of players? You'd have to spend a lot, but if you added those kind of players, an elite wide receiver, an elite running back, and an elite quarterback, you might average 45 to 48 points a game. So I like what Adam was saying. I think that's a possibility. But I do think individual players, you talk about not wanting to overspend on a quarterback. Well, you're not overspending if that quarterback is the difference between you making the playoff and not making the playoff.
See, but this is the thing that's really interesting about all this discussion is that there's more than one way to skin a cat. Matt and I were just talking off the air. This Division II running back, who, if I'm not mistaken, was like Offensive Player of the Year in the league a couple years ago at Missouri. His name's escaped me right now. Nobody knew his name. This Chambliss guy came in to be a backstop, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's from the 1AA ranks, or no, Division II. Division II, which is even lower. That's even lower, guys, than 1AA football. So I guess my point, guys, here is just because you get somebody that looks like low ticket doesn't mean they're low production. That's one thing I want to caution fans on. Just because you spend, a ton of money on somebody doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to work out. Nico was kind of a waste of money here. No offense to Nico. And by the same token, you can find guys, if you know what you're doing, who are functional and will function in your offense. And Heupel needs, Matt, two things. A guy that can throw the long ball and a guy that can run around a little bit. He doesn't need a world beater.
No, you can get by with, Hendon Hooker wasn't a world beater by any means until he got in this offense. I mean, he was kind of a throwaway guy from Virginia Tech.
Yep.
No, but you've got to have the right fits, and that's why, those 47 analysts, they need to have a bunch of them, grinding over all this tape of trying to find guys that are the right fit for what you need. Because you can find production and not have to pay a bunch for it, and that's what you've got to do when you have this many holes. You've got to find some value somewhere.
Bino, I'm convinced that the guy that has the best organization, the head coach that's the best CEO in this climate, is the guy that's going to win. I think that's what Indiana's doing, right? They look at things and they go, okay, I'm going to plug this guy into my system. And so far, if they're at a craps table, they still have the dice in their hands. They're still rolling.
Yeah, if we were pretty much loaded everywhere else, then absolutely jump out there and spend as much money as you want to spend on Levitt or whoever it is, if that's your big need.
Yeah.
We have so many needs that I think we're going to have to find someone at that position that doesn't cost about a quarter or more of your budget.
And everybody, hey John, everybody I talk to, they say that since he's gotten over there, Jim Knowles has been sitting in these rooms. He's not saying much. He's just kind of observing. And he's writing things down. He's old school. He's kind of just writing, taking notes. And then he goes to practice. He's been going to practice. And Adam said he's not down there on the trip. So I would imagine he's not down there because his work right now is who do I want that's in the portal, talking to different people, working different sources, maybe trying to get the two assistants that Orange Throat was talking about in the blog earlier this week. There's the guy with Poindexter we talked about before, and one other. But the point is that I think at the end of all this, these guys are going to come up with a quick plan. And the good thing is everybody else in college football is in flux. Look, this Coleman guy from Auburn, I would be really tempted if a Mike Matthews comes to me and says, hey, I want a ton more money. I'd be really tempted to go, hey, you have a Dwight Gooden, and go get that Coleman guy and pay him $4 million. I would be really, really tempted. I'm telling you, this Coleman guy can flat out play Beanstar.
Oh, yeah. I think
you can add a guy like that.
I think he's the real deal. Again, I think you're in the same position at your wide receiver core as you are at the quarterback position. I think you're gonna have to find a deal there too.
Then again, if Randarius Jackson goes out there today or one of the other kids and makes it easier on you and has a really nice day, wouldn't that be a great – if we're talking about –
absolutely.
Hey, if Adam's right and he gets 8 targets and he catches 5 balls for 75 yards, today on the post-game show we're going, well, that needs over.
Yeah.
That needs over. Good. Now let's move on. And maybe you have a couple other guys today that flash and pop for you that have just needed a chance to play. We come back on the other side. I'd like to get your thoughts on all this because really we've got a couple things happening. We've got obviously the bowl game today, the significance of it, what you think's going to happen, and then that portal's getting ready to open. And I want to make sure I got this right. Adam said he had how many pre-writes written? I think he said 24. And there was like
22.
22.
Yeah, and he's got in 5 of them he's already they've come to fruition, and there will be others that come to fruition. Adam is like the king of pre-writes.
Well, that's crazy stuff.
Every contingency is accounted for. Adam is that thorough in the way he does his business.
Well, here's the thing, though. I don't doubt they tap a bunch of guys on the shoulder today and go, hey, it's been really fun. Unfortunately for you, you're going to get on with your life's work next year elsewhere. That's the sport now, Matt. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. It sucks.
It's a semi-pro model now.
Semi-pro.
47 analysts.
47 analysts.
There aren't 47 analysts in the Pentagon.
As we come back on the 47 analysts. And still can't manage a game at the end of the game. 47 analysts, and you still don't know when to take a timeout. I mean, what are we doing? As we get a brief timeout and continue, go. And we continue.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine. Live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Hey there, Basilio crew. Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. The holiday season is here, and if your plans include unwrapping your new home, then take advantage of less competition and motivated sellers while others are out fighting over parking spots at the mall. Smart buyers are out snagging deals on great homes, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and as always, go Vols!
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
That's MLK right there. Tony B back with you. It is incredible being with you today. This is part of our watch party extravaganza to the stars. It's extremely exciting to be with you today. It's a great day to be alive and well as we are with you. Part of our fan-run Music City Bowl watch party extravaganza to the stars. We've turned them all out. TGMD, Matt Diskin's in the house. We've got Bino Jeff Henderson in the house. Bino's now eating Fake Aaron's pizza. Fake Aaron's got, that pizza's utterly delicious. I will say that. Compliments to the chef. Not to be confused with Will Heflin, who will be with me later tonight on the post game, but as part of our Star Studs and Stallions, our cavalcade, our extra long set of 5 love songs in a row. But you've got this show till 1 Eastern, followed by the Playbook with the great William Pattison, and then the award-winning Drive with Russell Smith, who got here today, along with Ryan, and set all this stuff up. But we got free swag. We got specials for you. We're at 350 North Peters Road, and that pizza's damn good, Beanstar.
It's outstanding.
How do you play? What? You can't talk with your mouth full. This ain't overtime. What do you think this is, Bino?
My bad.
And Diskin, what are you eating right now? That's everybody talk. That's what we do around here. Hey, listen. People say to me, well, you're not professional. And let me tell you something. I ain't worried about being professional. I'm among friends talking sports. And you know what we do? We talk. And we eat, and we talk, and we have our mouth full every once in a while.
MLK, do you agree with that? Thank you. Now, Matt, I'm trying to vamp to let you finish what it is you're eating. But I'm pretty fired up, focused, and prepared here. All right, let's go to the phones. I was asking Matt what's going to happen today, Bino. He's like, how do I know? We could go out there, play real well, and roll these guys, which is what should happen. We could go out there. They could put a couple quick ones up on our defense. We fall down and run into each other and all this nonsense and get whacked. Nothing today that happens in that bowl game is going to surprise me, guys.
I mean, when you can't slow anyone down,
yeah,
then it's all about how your offense plays that day.
Yeah. Matt, does it help us that we simplified things with William Inge?
I mean, I don't think it matters. It can't be any worse.
I mean, John, it's the truth, right? John, it's like I'm talking to somebody. I'm like, well, what's the approach? Well, we've simplified things, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things that sounds good, where you could take an optimistic view of that and say, oh, so that implies that, yeah, the reason Tennessee didn't do better was because the defense was too complex. Whereas we know the reason Tennessee didn't do so well is because it couldn't tackle. You can't miss tackles the way Tennessee did and flourish in the sport. So I think that's the way to look at it. And I just think, Tony, don't you believe that the Vanderbilt, that second half against Vanderbilt, had a profound impact on Tennessee football and its program?
John, I think it had an excellent impact. A caller called yesterday and made a great point that's sort of stuck with me, which is that needed to happen. That was a wake-up call for that program.
Yeah.
Matt, I think it can be a good thing in the long run. I mean, what happened there?
Yeah, but you need to make it a good thing. Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Does Jim Knowles come if you lose 38-35?
No,
maybe not.
And there's going to be a clean sweep on that defensive side for the most part. I think is what we're getting ready to see.
I don't care how good Vandy is.
Yep.
If they come into your house and run you out of there, and there's not a sense of urgency, something's terribly wrong.
Yeah, I think one of those 47 analysts should be able to figure that out.
Well, the sad thing about the 47 analysts, guys, is that the 47 analysts are the guys that fans blame. When the 47 analysts might have the cure for what's going on, but who's going to listen to one of the 47 analysts? I don't necessarily paint the broad brush, but the 47 analysts could be kids over there going, hey, what are we doing? What are these guys that are being paid $3 million? Well, this guy's over here. That guy that was defensive coordinator, y'all, no offense to him, but what in the world was that? Sal Sinceri thought his defense was bad. Let's go back to the phones. Let's get Dave in here, followed by Andrew.
Was.
Interesting. John is presented by Jennifer Morris. Jennifer presents today the star of the show. He is the ornament on the top of the Christmas tree. As we are live here, making it happen with you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Remember, get out here. We're here all day today. Support our friends here at Fan Run Radio. It's been absolutely terrific, and we're pleased to be with you today. It's part of our Music City Bowl watch party all day long, kicking it off, making it happen with you, 350 North Peters Road, and Ryan has brought a lot of great stuff. So those of you that are here enjoying the show, if you want to come up and grab a shirt or come up and grab one of our cups over here or one of our hats over here, just gorgeous, beautiful stuff, please come on up and get yourself something for coming out and enjoying the show today. Let's go back to our phones, and without further ado, we'll get our first call in, who is Dave. Dave followed by Andrew. Dave, hello, welcome in.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Dave, welcome in, buddy. Good to talk to you.
Hey, Tony, I was on hold yesterday for an hour and 14 minutes. And how many lines do you have?
Apparently,
damn it, Brian.
Apparently, yeah, Brian needs it. Brian needs to communicate better, Dave, to me.
I mean, I was seriously on hold for it, and I heard like 4 or 5 callers go while I was on hold. I'm thinking, wait a minute, how many lines is he? I didn't think he had that many lines, but maybe you do.
Dave, that might have been because Bino said we got to the overtime I didn't realize it was like 2:15 yesterday or something. I looked down, I was like, wow. Every once in a while, Dave, what happens is Bino gets wordy. I'm not going to lie to you. And it really screws things up. You know Bino from the softball days. Bino would talk your head off, man. And really at times say nothing, Dave. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Davey! We popped Dave today.
Hey, listen, I watched, and I got cousins that are Mizzou fans, you know, because I'm originally, my dad got transferred here in 1971. That's when we moved to Knoxville. And they're Mizzou fans, and that quarterback of theirs, that freshman quarterback, was kind of auditioning for the job next year for Mizzou, and of course he failed. And that's the thing. I hear a lot of people wanting to give GMAC the nod next year. You can't miss on this quarterback thing. It's the most important position, and you got to get that solved, and you got to get some defensive pieces, and that's what you got to do. I don't think you need another wide receiver. You got to get the quarterback thing right.
Dave, if you look at it, the way some of these experts are starting to match up some of these guys, like the Mestamaker guy is supposed to follow his coach or go to a higher bidder. Texas Tech is setting the market and spending like a drunken sailor. I don't think it's wise when you have the amount of needs Tennessee has on defense to be spending $4 million on a quarterback. That's just me. Tennessee showed with Joey Aguilar this year. They showed with Hendon Hooker several years ago. You don't have to get one of those guys in the system if you know what you're doing to be successful. And that's my belief.
I'm not saying spend that kind of money. I'm saying you got to get an upperclassman.
Because you and I agree right now, and I agree with you, that we overspent on Native Men. We overspent on him. You agree with that, Matt, right now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not piling on, but, you know, you have to have them, you have to have them, you have to have them. Hey, when you spend that kind of money on somebody, they better jump off the page and be incredible.
Well,
and that kid's a nice
player. They have to win
player.
games for you in March.
That's right. That's right. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, freshmen typically don't carry teams in March. That's the issue.
And that is the issue. Yep.
I mean, you look at, and if you want to go back to the basketball thing, you look at the last 2 years, making 2 Elite Eights. Why did we get there?
Shooting.
We got there because of Dalton Connect and Chaz Lanier.
Hey, when you can make outside shots, that's the thing about. And by the way, we will have a Garza Law Tennessee basketball overtime folded into our football show tonight because we're playing a game against the third or fourth worst team in Division I. What is it?
One of the 5 worst out of the 365.
In the fourth quarter of tonight's game, Bino, which will be seen in Thompson Bowling by how many, Beanstar? What's your guess? 5,000? It'll feel like buzzball in there tonight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
7,000? Dave, what's your guess? How many Hoops fans in there tonight?
Oh, I think between 8 and 10.
Damn, Dave
should just have a watch party and put the football
I would.
game
If I were them,
Danny's new scoreboard.
I would put the game up there on Danny Vision.
Yeah. But
unless you're losing, then you just turn it
back
off.
away from basketball. You got to get pieces on defense for sure. Why don't they make a priority to get some of these transfers from Penn State?
Again,
defensive players from Penn State jumping in the portal.
I know that Knowles wants to get involved with this defensive lineman we talk about in the blog today, who's an excellent player, who's a 3-year guy. They think he's originally from Ohio. Ohio State's all over him as well.
Yeah.
And Matt, Ohio State's obnoxious because they just outspend everybody. They're Death Starring it.
Yeah, they're an
There's
SEC
a
program.
couple. There's another defensive end and a couple linebackers and a couple defensive backs that have jumped in the portal from Penn State. Besides that stud guy that's probably going to go to Ohio State. I'll get as many guys as possible that have played under him.
You agree with that, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. If you can get one or two of those guys from Penn State, that helps make the transition easier.
Unless he doesn't want them.
Yeah,
because he doesn't think he can play.
Yeah.
There's also that I think that McLean kid or whatever played safety under him at Ohio State. His brother's a signee, 2026 signee for Tennessee. His brother plays at Ohio State. I don't know if he's going to jump in the portal. We'll have to wait until after the playoffs. But got to get as many guys as There can't be you can't have a 2-year learning curve on defense.
Well, you just have to see. You just have to. You hope they simplify things a little bit. And surely Heupel and him have talked about that. Hey, this is a critical year for me upcoming. We can't have, the Chinese fire drill back here. Can you say that on the air, or is that politically incorrect? Do we still say that
on this show? Yes.
Okay.
You could say it. It's politically incorrect, but you
Is
certainly
it?
could say it.
The one thing, Tony, the one improvement they can make that would probably solve almost half of the defensive issues is tackling.
Well, Negative, I kind of feel you. Negative.
The tackling, that would really help a lot if this team became a better tackling team. It makes a difference.
Well, obviously, Matt and I watching different games throughout the year. The better tackling defenses are the best defenses. It's pretty simple. You're in position to make a play, make a play.
Yeah.
Our problem this year is we had guys at times in position to make plays who are just, I don't even know what they're doing. The angles are bad. The linebacking core, Matt, I don't know what was worse this year. Those safeties or that linebacking core.
It's bad.
Yeah, I mean, they were both well below average.
I mean, it's unreal, the bad angles. They would have guys, they would have the sideline, they would have leverage there and give the leverage up, run out of bounds.
Yeah. And we just didn't have good enough athletes to make up for having poor angles or taking a misstep before the right at the snap.
Carter wasn't healthy most of the year.
No,
anyway.
he wasn't. No, two turf toes there at the end.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a close game. I won't be surprised either way.
Dave, thank you. That's about as close. That's about as close as Dave calling for a blowout, Bino, as you can get. He thinks the Vols are winning. He don't think it's going to be close either way, or he thinks it's going to be close either way. I like the fact that both quarterbacks are playing in this game, and I'm a little partial, Matt. But in terms of these lesser bowl games, this is one of the more fun because both quarterbacks are playing.
Should be one
I
of the
think
more
it's one of the more
entertaining.
watchable. Yeah. From 10,000 feet, if I was a fan today, I would nestle in and watch that game today at 5:30 Eastern. If it,
I think it'll be very entertaining. Matt said something in the blog that jumped out at me today. And that's that not only are we bad defensively, but we basically lost our best player from all three levels going into this game.
Yeah.
And so I just don't see how it can be anything but a track meet.
Yeah, generally you would say, well, SEC, Big Ten, the speed differential, and then you go, okay, like you're subtracting your three worst players like he wrote from your defense, or three best at each level.
And it's
of a defense that already couldn't play.
Yeah, it's hard to get worse. That's the crazy thing.
That is
those
true.
guys, and it's hard to
you
get
might
worse.
improve.
It's not a typical Bielema team, like Matt said. They're not going to hand the ball off and run clocks. So both teams are going to be pressing to score points.
Well, look, when I'm talking to Plaster today, one of the points I'm going to make is either quarterback that wins that game's a great story. Their guy's a great story because he said no to us. We had their beat writer on who said Tennessee offered him north of $2 million. He stayed at $1 million to stay there. How many guys do that, Bino, in today's day and age?
Not many.
Not many.
Very, very.
And they got the 3.5 base with him. So not many guys do that. How many guys come from UCLA, immerse themselves in the culture the way this kid did when he was a California kid? He wanted to wear that UCLA uniform. He came out here and made the absolute best of it.
Yeah.
He deserves to win. Both of those starting quarterbacks today deserve to win that game.
No question.
Back to the phones we go. Let's get Andrew in here, who's up next with us on your Tony Basilio show, leading you up to the playbook coming up here in about 45. Hi, you're on the air. Welcome in.
What's up, Tony? How y'all doing?
Hey, welcome in, Andrew.
Hey, I just had a quick question. I know you've talked about Mike Matthews wanting maybe like $2 million. Do you know how much we're going to be paying Staley to stay here?
Absolutely not. No, I don't. But that's
I'm
the other thing. You got to pay your roster.
A lot of people seem to be willing to pay Staley, but they're hesitant with Matthews, and I just don't understand it. The production's about the same, and if anything, with all the drops Mike's had, he's actually might have a higher ceiling next year.
What do you make of that, Matt?
No, I agree. He's got the higher upside. Staley was more productive this year. But, I mean, Matthews was a 5-star. He's an elite athlete. He's that guy that can take those, 5 to 10-yard catches and turn them into 20 and 30-yard games. He's the guy that you need to do that, and you need him to take a big step next year. And today's a good opportunity for him to do that against the poor secondary. But I agree, he probably has more upside than Staley, but Staley's a really, really solid slot guy.
Really good. I'll tell you this, and I want your opinion on this. If I get involved with that Coleman guy at Auburn, if Matthews does play chicken with me and I can get involved with that Coleman guy, I would get involved with that Coleman guy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Coleman,
that's an elite
besides
player.
Probably Jeremiah Smith, probably the best in the country. I mean, Coleman still put up 700 yards with Jackson Dart at quarterback. I mean, imagine him in Heupel's system.
That's exactly right. And, guys, I'd keep my eyes on Auburn.
He just left Heupel's system. That's what Auburn had.
But
I mean, I know that
you
different dynamics,
better.
but still.
Yeah, one of my agent buddies told me to keep your eyes on Auburn and that portal here in the next few days because it's about to get interesting. In fact, there's going to be a couple schools that you're going to see some serious bleed out, and some really good players are getting ready to jump into this thing. So, your thoughts, sir, on the way to approach this thing in terms of would you invest more of your expenditure on defense and get a workable quarterback, or would you try to get a signature quarterback? What are you doing?
I'm definitely going with more of the workable quarterback. That's been Heupel's track record of who's actually worked here. And the other thing is, do we really want to go spend a bunch of money on a quarterback when, unfortunately, Heupel's not had the best history of picking quarterbacks? Like, we might end up picking the wrong guy, and you got nothing on either side of the ball.
That is word to my dearly departed mother right there, Bino. That's a great way of putting it.
It is.
I mean, if I spend $5 million on this guy from Cincinnati and he comes in here and he's a turnover machine like he was 2 years ago up there, and he's a feast or famine guy. But if I do that and he doesn't fit what I'm doing and whatever it is, I'm still sitting over there languishing on defense. See, fans have this thing where they think, and I love it because I'm a fan myself, but they all think, well, these billionaires have an unending supply of money. That's not how anything works. Ohio State seems like they have an unending supply of money, but even they don't have an unending supply of money. You make a great point. Look, the Chambliss guy showed me, and I watch 1AA football. There are quarterbacks out there that could run Heupel's system that could be effective. But he's got to be able, the 47 analysts, somebody in there has to be able to recognize who's there who can do it. One of those 47 analysts, man, has to be able to, identify somebody.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is, people think the more you spend on a quarterback, the better you're going to get. But reality is, you put a better team around the guy, the less you have to ask of him. I mean, Will Howard going from Kansas State to Ohio State, nobody thought he was going to be great, but you put him with an elite receiving core, and they upgraded the O-line and obviously had a great defense. They didn't need him to be Superman. They just needed a game manager. And if you can keep, Matthews and Staley, you go out and get like a Cam Coleman or whatever and put a good defense on the field, you don't have to get a ton of production out of your quarterback.
You're the man. I appreciate you. Thank you. The thing I love about this conversation is I don't know if there's wrong answers. These are great topics because it's what these guys are talking about behind closed doors. How am I going to build my roster? And then today, who do I want to look at? This is a great opportunity to get a Rendarius Jackson. Who else, Matt? The young guys that you want to see today.
Dewan Morris.
The running back. Yep.
Some of the freshman tight ends. Prelati.
I love Prelati. We're going to do some totals.
One or two of the freshmen in your secondary are going to have to play, and even they barely played all year. They're just for depth purposes. So
Timothy Merritt, possibly.
Yeah.
865-200-5402. It's going to be really interesting. Really, really interesting. 865-200-5402 is the numero uno if you want to get in the hunt in the mix with us. We've got a lot to get into today. If you want to get in the mix and in the hunt with us and in the hunt and in the mix, 865-200-5402 is our number. Brian tells us we're wide open if you want to jump in. I want to remind you one more time, we are live today, taking you up to Bow Thy Head when you say thy name, the playbook with the great William Pattison. And then Dubsy and the gang will be out here right up till kickoff. Right up till kickoff, Bino. And how about the swag that Ryan and that radio station have laid out here for the people, Bino?
Yeah, just great looking sweatshirts. I grabbed me one as soon as I got in here. Appreciate Ryan taking care of us.
Boy, you're in radio.
And everyone here, yeah.
I
had a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Prior to your arrival.
Interesting. I saw a gal comes up to Beanstar and said, are they for anybody? And Bino, yeah. He said, yeah. Help yourself.
Oh, yeah. I'm giving stuff away.
Yeah.
I'll give everybody else's stuff away in a minute.
You're like Danny White, man. You're good at spending other people's money.
I didn't ask the lady for anything for it, Tony.
That's a good point.
When's the last time Danny gave anything away?
That's breaking news. Let's go back to the phones. Look, this game's important to me. Anytime you take the field, it's like my buddy Darren said, when you put your uniform on, it better matter to you. That's my boy right there. He's serious. When you put your uniform on, it better matter to you. You know, Bino, there's something said for that. You put your uniform on and it doesn't matter to you, you might have problems. Might be time to get on with your life's work.
You think?
But in this day and age, man, you watch some of these bowl games, you can't tell me some of these teams are really going hard, Bino. Can you?
There's no rhyme or reason who it matters to either.
It's bizarre.
It's impossible to figure out who it matters to.
I'll tell you who it mattered.
Before the game starts.
I'll tell you who it mattered to yesterday. That guy from Army, that freshman running back they gave a chance to. What is it? God is wonderful, or whatever that guy's name was.
Godspeed, or something like that.
No, it wasn't Godspeed. It was glory to God, or.
You can trust the service academies in bowl games.
Hell yes, you can.
Service academies, BYU always shows up for bowl games.
Yes, sir.
There's a few programs that do.
Yep.
And so many of them have major coaching transitions going on. They have interim coaches, so it's hard to, I'm sure everybody simplifies your game plan when you have a bunch of turnover on your coaching staff.
So far, the hardest hitting game we've seen, guys, that Old Dominion game.
Yeah.
And all that hit was after the
whistle. I mean,
whistle.
those guys were hammering each other.
Brutal.
So I hope we get to see a great show today in Nashville. Let's go back to the phone.
Won't be hard hitting.
Let's get W. Lynn in here. Today's game is going to be wild, I'm afraid. W. Lynn.
Touch.
By the way, game kicks off at 8:30, Matt, Eastern time. What time's it end?
5:30.
Or 5:30 Eastern time, I'm sorry.
A little before 9.
Yeah. Might go to 9:15, 9:20.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a lot of balls in the air. Hello and welcome into W. Lynn, who's up next with us. W. Lynn.
How are my friends and compatriots doing today?
It's a great day to be alive, W. Lynn.
Tony, it's funny, that silly basketball game's tonight, but if we get 9,500 in there, that's more than Auburn's and Duke's arena even holds.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. I think we'll have more like that lacrosse I watch. Might have about 4,500 people in there in a 20,000 seat arena. That's what those lacrosse. That's what they draw.
Now that in that new Dannytron, that thing that was blocking half the people's sight line up, have they raised that?
Yes,
where
they
you can
did.
See the other goal
after
now?
that game, for all the plebes up in the high 300s, they've raised the scoreboard. Yes, they have.
Well, at least they did that. Good
Yes.
grief. I'm surprised they all didn't have to pay an extra $10 to get it raised, but. So
That is a great line. That is a great line.
Guys, this bowl game is important. It should be to everybody. With a victory, we can finish in the top 20, not just top 25. We can finish in the top 20 for the fourth year in a row, which I think is a pretty big deal. We can also move up in the all-time bowl wins rankings and tie number 6 Oklahoma with 31 wins. So, and Bino, if they'd have counted that field goal we got in the Orange Bowl against them, we'd be ahead of Oklahoma. But that's pretty important to me. 4 straight top 20 years. What do you guys think?
John Adams, very quietly, this guy's had 4 straight top 20 years, John. What do you think? Isn't that interesting about Heupel? It's been very quiet if it happens today.
Well, yeah, we view things differently now because of the playoff, let's face it.
Yeah.
I mean, a top 20, that was the end of the season in days gone by. That was sort of your final evaluation where you stood. Well, you made the top 20, and remember, it didn't used to be a top 25. It used to be a top 20. So to make the top 20, here's the thing. If you don't make the top 25 now, that's kind of a stigma. Obviously, the main thing is playoff or not in the playoff. With a 12-team playoff, you don't have most programs, if they aspire to any sort of success or hope to compete for championships, if they don't make the playoffs, it was an unsuccessful year. This is an unsuccessful year for Tennessee, but it still could leave a good mark. It could leave a better mark. I think there's a big difference in 9-4 and 8-5. 8-5 just doesn't look good. It looks like you're headed in the wrong direction because it would be Heupel's worst record since his first season when he had to rebuild the program.
John, I'm not here to politic for Heupel. I'm not, okay? But here's what's unfair about today. What's unfair is you win the game, people say you ought to beat that team. It's a bunch of,
It's a Big Ten team.
It's a Big Ten team. They're slow. It's a bunch of white turkeys on defense. I mean, that's what people are going to say. You lose to them, and then they're going to tell you it's a meaningless win. You lose to them, all of a sudden it becomes a meaningful loss, and you're 8-5, Matt. That's the thing that's not fair about it. And it's not fair. It's not fair. Right? I mean, John, you agree with that? The way the fan base is going to view this thing's not fair.
Well, I don't know that it's unfair. I mean, what Tennessee put itself in this position. I mean, there's another way to look at this. We're talking about 8-5, 9-4. There's another way to look. Tennessee hadn't beaten a good football team all year, and that, as we talked about earlier with the caller, Illinois beating Illinois, and we don't know what kind of shape Illinois is in because it's got several key players out due to opt-outs, just like Tennessee does. But Illinois would qualify as Tennessee's best win. What do you think Tennessee's best win is right now in the regular season? What's Tennessee's best win?
At Florida?
At Florida.
Well, it is. I mean, I call – and listen, I call that a signature win, John. At Florida was a signature win for this team.
Beating
at
a 4-8
Mississippi State,
team.
maybe.
First time winning in 20 years down there, and you were up 31-0. It wasn't like
it was a blowout.
Barely, yeah, you beat the hell out of them. So
yeah.
Mississippi State and Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas went 2-10.
I mean, at the Arkansas postgame show, guys, I said, and I'm not sure to pat myself on the back because God knows I'm about a half a moron, but I'm watching them and I go, they're not winning another game. That's what we were saying after the game, and that was kind of a warning sign. Tennessee had an odd year this year because they really should have beaten that Georgia bunch, who I think might win the national championship from here. That's how stupid I am, but there you go.
It's an odd year, but look, I'm not politicking for anybody. It's like Bino says, I'm pulling for the T and the orange, and I know we all talked about, boy, how bad it's going to be if we lose to Vanderbilt. Well, we did. Ending up 8-5 with a 2-game losing streak, that's going to be negative caller. You'll have to have 17 lines for the negative caller.
But if you win, they're going to go, well, I mean, you should beat those guys. And I'm not sure 9-5 is really good enough anyway. And, hey, if Butch Jones was here, he'd be planning a parade if he won 9 games.
Oh yeah. He said, I won 9 games 2 years in a row. I thought that'd be good enough. He said that after he was fired.
Bino was on postgame with us back then, and that's when he signed off. He told me the next day, he said, man, that's it for me. Butch Jones put poor Bino over the top, John. It's the truth. Isn't that the truth, Bino?
No, that's the absolute truth.
Freaked out.
When he said, after we went to South Carolina with a chance to play in the SEC championship game and lost, and he came back and said that we should be grateful because we were bowl eligible for the 3rd year in a row, I absolutely snapped. That was it for me.
Matt, didn't he get T-shirts printed up for his team last year that said bowl? What they say on them?
It just said bowl bound. He wore it to the post game press conference. Like he had it printed up and had it ready to go.
Literally, Mississippi
this year,
State
guys,
this year.
I heard this on a sports show, one of the ESPNs. He said that when they won their last regular season game to go 6-6 and become bowl eligible, it was the greatest celebration he'd ever seen in a locker room.
I don't doubt that.
I love him.
Yeah.
I wish
and
I
he got that list, Tony. You're on it in his pocket,
Oh, he's got a special place for me. But I got a special place for him.
Does anybody really believe that was a great celebration in the locker room? Maybe 2 guys clapped. That was probably it.
He probably had a couple guys go over there, John, and he has to pick them up. Throw me
Probably
around
gave
for
a few
social media.
$100 bills out and told them to start yelling and screaming.
Yes.
But I think when you look at what Heupel has done and you look at it this season, you have to always look at it through 2 lenses. Yeah, through one lens, it was a disappointing season. Tennessee, with all its resources, didn't make the playoff. It didn't beat a good team. But then you also have to look at through the lens of recent history, where from 2008 through 2020, 9 wins was as good as it got for Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's the point. People do not give this guy credit for that, Matt. They don't.
Yeah, if you win, it's 4 straight 9-win seasons, which you haven't done since the late 90s.
Which is fantastic. It doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like the late 90s. It doesn't. But, whatever.
Well, I just think you
go
have
Big
to.
Orange in both sports, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year to you, W. Lynn. Tomorrow we'll do resolutions. One of mine is to spend less time on the air next year.
The callers might not like that, Tony.
Or a lot are celebrating right now.
I think you probably, and you've probably made this resolution before.
Yes.
I know you always are so conscious about, and you talk about it, and when we have preparation before a show, all the show prep, you talked about, I just really want to entertain more callers on today's show.
It's funny you should mention that because I've declared, and I haven't told the fans, you haven't told Bino this, Matt, Darren over here, Philly, 2026, and I apologize to Dave what happened yesterday, because 2026 truly is the geophysical year of the caller, and I want everybody on board to know that. So toward that end, Richard's going to join on the other side, and we'll continue. Richard will have some thoughts, I'm sure. We got the bowl game. We got the portal. We got the playoff coming up. MLK and family are here, and they're in their full Ohio State regalia. You guys are soon going to need one of those plastic tubs that you put like the Cowboy fans get when December rolls around. Hey, the Cowboy fans have already put their stuff in mothballs. By the way, William Patterson's on the way next. William Patterson's up next. He got the playbook, leading you up to the great Russell Smith. Russell Smith got here today. Let me paint the picture for you. I lost track of time. Russell and Ryan got here at like 8:30 and set this thing up. Bino, what time did I roll in here? Tell the truth.
Oh, you were here easily by 10:49.
We take a brief time out and come back. It's true. As we come back, Laura goes, "What are you doing?" She goes, "I thought you left." I said, I lost track of time. As we continue with more after this.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
The season of giving reminds us of what truly matters, community and connection. Hi there, Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. As the year closes, I wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank you, my Basilio family clients. Thank you for trusting me with your most important decisions. Whether it was finding your first home or successfully closing a chapter, your trust means everything. I look forward to new and continued relationships through the new year, and feel free to reach out to me at 865-694-5904 or nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and of course, go Vols!
Basilio here with my buddy, Connexial Kristen.
Hey Tony, good to see ya. Connexial builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the #1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Connexial.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Connexial, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
I'll tell you what, they've really rolled out the red carpet here, Ryan and the gang at Fan Run Radio. And folks, come on in. Those of you that are enjoying yourselves here today, we would love to have you as we're at the Tennessee Tap House. It is utterly outstanding here on North Peters Road. Fake W. Lynn yesterday said he only goes to South. Bino?
South Peters Road.
Yeah. So we'll go back to our phones.
How are the YouTube commenters today, Tone?
The YouTube commenters.
They active?
I've been looking. I've been off my game. You know why?
You're interacting with the people.
Well, I just made a bet. Bino, I just bet straight up that Martin Luther King guy over there has a real big mouth. What? And I had to take his money. I had to take Martin Luther King's money, Bino, because he got a big mouth.
Let's see, Tony. You took a team straight up that's a 9-point underdog.
The Miami's going to beat Ohio State straight up. That stuff's going in mothballs. You know what? Hey, you know what I might do for you? That $50 you pay me after that game happens? I might go out and get you guys some real good sealers, like some some good containers to put your Ohio State stuff away for the off season.
Well,
let's go.
They can buy a lot of mothballs for $50 because they're going to get it.
What do you mean? They're getting. No. Matt thinks it's a good play. William Patterson thinks it's a good play. My boy William Patterson said, "Go with the U." Matt thinks it's a good.
William Patterson might think it's a good bet if you take him on the money line at like plus 300 or something.
So you're telling me that over at VIP play, that's a what? What is the line? Hey, give me 9 points. Hey. Hey, it's a 9-point line. Hey, give me my points, man. Give me my points. You give them? Yeah, my points. 9 points. All right, we're going to go back to the
9.5.
We're going to go back to the and Matt ran from it. Matt off the air was encouraging. He was like, do it.
Well, you've been confident about it all week.
Yes, I'm very confident about it. That's the one shot I'm calling here.
Tony, are you confident about Carson Beck beating Ohio State's defense?
No, I'm confident about that Miami defense giving them a dose. they're going to go for Dos on them, Dos Equis, bro. Let me tell you right now, they're going to go for Dos just like Indiana shut them down in that championship game. I saw what I saw. This Julian Saying guy is overrated. Back to the phones we go. Richard, hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Well, hello, gentlemen.
Hey, Richard, good to talk to you.
Yes, good to talk to you guys as well. Welcome from sunny Middle Tennessee today. A little cold today, but the sun's out. It's beautiful. The wind's very, very light. Not going to be much wind here at all today. So today's game, even though it'll be chilly in the stadium, as far as the elements go, shouldn't affect the game whatsoever unless people just don't want to play in the cold today. So,
are you going down, Richard? You going in?
No, I can't. I'm not going, Tony. It's one of those games. I thought I hurt. I've got a bad right knee, and I twisted it again this past weekend, and it's really sore. And that cold air, sitting out in that cold air, Tony, with a bad knee, I just don't want to do it.
Richard, you need to bring you could go and wear a gorilla suit, and that would keep you warm.
Well, hey, John, knowing my luck, I'd be just like Polly Joe in that gorilla suit. I'd be on the ground, and then the ambulance taking me to the hospital.
Well, you know, Polly Joe is getting his.
The gorilla suit opted out of bowl games this year.
Oh, really? And there you go.
Oh, man, that's great. I'll never forget that and that conversation from last year and all that around that.
It was real.
Wonderful.
Yeah. It's the first time I've ever revealed this on the air. That was my fault. I made that suggestion.
What, you push him?
No, I made the suggestion that he wear a gorilla suit. He told me he was going to wear something to be noticed. And I said, well, Polly, you need to wear a gorilla suit.
I'll tell you what.
Every bit of it's my fault.
That's a lot of man in a gorilla suit. I'll tell you that. That would be a big gorilla suit. I'd notice him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I can tell you one thing that when the game's over today, Tony, one thing that will not happen that happened years ago in the Music City Bowl, Josh Heupel will not ask his team to carry him off on their shoulders.
Boy, amen to that, brother. I don't know why this guy isn't more appreciated because Tennessee wins, Matt. The number is, once again, 4 straight years of
9+ wins.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking good. That's pretty consistent. It doesn't feel that way, but it's pretty consistent.
So here's a question since y'all brought up Box Jones there a little bit. And like I said, since I have a history with him and got a chance to talk to him a lot, but what would y'all say if Josh Heupel had Josh Dobbs, Josh Malone, Alvin Kamara, Jalen Hurd, Juwan Jennings, and all that on his offensive football team? How many points would they have scored that year?
In the 40s.
Every game.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah. Maybe,
yeah.
You know, we'd have a game or two in the 30s.
We would have won that. We would have won the
Atlanta.
SEC championship game.
Well, you're a guy beating the drum for getting a difference maker at running back, which I do agree with, by the way.
Absolutely.
I would love to see Kamara in this guy's offense pass the way he could run it and catch it, and he would fit perfectly in this offense.
How do you think that North Texas State or Jacksonville State running back would fit in this offense?
I got to study the film on both guys, John.
Yeah.
You've given me an assignment here.
Well, I tell you this, I would be back channeling and I'd be tampering with the Jaden Ball kid again out of Florida, because not only can he run the football, but he can catch the football out of the backfield. Amazing. He's a first-round pick next year in the NFL draft. He is a difference maker. He's the guy I would be targeting and wanting to say, look, man, you come up here and play in my offense, I'll make you a Heisman Trophy candidate next year.
My agent buddy told me, because I asked about him, Richard, he told me that Texas talked him into the portal. Let's see if that happens on Friday. He said Texas talked him in, Jaden Ball.
Well, hey, look how many of their running backs they sent to the portal.
Well, there you go.
Me. They're making room to pay it.
There you go. That makes total sense then.
Now, I would say that the one kid that did go to the portal, that is going to the portal from Texas, that I forget the last name, had a great year last year for them. Was their best running back. He would fit Heupel's system really good. So,
well, you know, look, the one thing that these guys have, and Matt, these guys are right, and John's right as well. It doesn't have to be somebody from the high level. if you know what you're doing and you know your offense and you can identify, you can find football players. Question is, can we do it? Can we do it?
The South Dakota running backs in the portal. I haven't watched tape on him, but his stats were amazing. And what I understand, he's a really, really good football player. So I just, like you said, there's players everywhere. Players can be found throughout the country. There's always late bloomers that come out of high school that were never discovered by the big schools, and they're all over the place. You just got to do your homework and watch a lot of tape and see which ones fit your system, and don't worry about what On3 or anybody else says. Well, this portal guy is ranked a 3-star. Who cares? Your job is to evaluate, do they fit what you do? And if they do, and they're veterans, you go after them. So, but looking forward to it. I think this is, like I said yesterday, big week. Ball game today. Portal opens Friday. This is going to be a fun next couple of weeks and a ride to see how this roster's rebuilt, what Knowles does with his defensive staff, and who stays and who goes. I have a feeling that, like you said, several of the D coaches are not going to be around. Gardner will be. He'll be back coaching D-line, but the other guy I think that was coaching, that Harbin guy, from what I understand,
he's gone.
Great recruiter, but horrible on-field football coach.
Can't coach a lick.
Kind of like, just like Niedermeyer was for Pruitt. Great recruiter, didn't know how to coach on football.
Can't coach a lick. Yep.
Yeah,
and you get those guys.
And it showed this year, Tony. I thought for the talent level of our outside pass rushers, I thought we were very average this year for the talent level they had. They didn't look very good.
Yeah, I think we'll take a step forward defensively next year. How can you not? We'll probably take a step forward defensively today, as Matt said. How can you not? I mean, what's the difference? That's crazy how guys can rise in that profession.
You don't get to see a lot of the young guys play, and that's what you always look forward to. You get a chance to see guys that are hungry because, like I said, it does mean a lot.
Yes,
you got guys that could enter the portal. They need to put tape on there. But for the most part, these young guys on defense are trying to play to show Jim Knowles that they belong on that team next year. They're fighting for contracts and money. There's a lot that goes into some of these games, whether or not you're going to get paid or not next year, because it's now all about pay as well. And so hopefully we should see a lot of guys performing to see and prove that they want to get paid and kind of go for it there. But I do hope we do play McIntyre more. I hope he doesn't have a cameo appearance or something. I hope he gets some meaningful stats, because I think you need to throw him out there in some first half action, give him a chance to work with the first team, see what he can do.
Richard, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. You're the man. Good talking to you. Guys, before we go back to our phones, we got Joshy Boy and Titansville that want to speak. Let's do some totals. Perlotti today, personal fouls, the number's 0.5. Where you going, Matt? Personal fouls, Perlotti.
I'll go under because that's probably plus money.
All right. Bino?
I'll go over.
Yeah, he'll commit a personal foul. Onside kicks, both teams, 0.5. Bino?
Under.
Missed field goals, both teams. Matt, 2.5.
Under.
Tennessee gadget plays. Matt, 0.5.
Under. But Illinois will have at least 2.
Bishop, who's 17 yards away from 1,000 yards, gets how many carries today?
22.
15. Joey football needs 375 yards to break Peyton Manning's single season record. How many passing yards for Joey football today?
He'll get over 300.
That'd be awesome. If he gets around 350, do they try to get it, or do they not?
Well, you might have to. I mean, if he's getting up there near 400, that means you've probably been playing from behind all game.
Yes. They've tried to get him over the 200-yard mark every game to make sure they got that streak going. So, yeah, they'll push for it.
George McIntyre, passing attempts, Matt, 0.5.
I'd take the under.
Bino?
I don't think McIntyre's going to play.
Damn it. Tennessee tackles for loss. The number is 2.5. Bino.
I'll go over.
Way over.
What's the number?
6.
Wow.
Finally, on television today, TV mentions Altmaier's flirtation with UT. The number is 0.5. Bino.
Over.
0.5 a quarter.
Joey Aggs' court case mentions that he's got a court case pending. 0.5 is the number. Matt?
Oh, over.
They'll mention it. Mentions of Heupel choosing not to practice at Vanderbilt. Will they talk about it on the telecast,
Yeah,
Matt?
Jordan Rogers will bring it up, yeah.
Yes.
Jordan Rogers will be petty?
Oh, yeah.
Go! Go! All right, we're going to go back to our
I just wish fake Aaron Rodgers would call him every once in a while.
They don't speak.
I know.
Real Aaron and fake. Fake Aaron doesn't speak to Jordan either.
I wouldn't either.
No, he's even shunned by his fake brother. You know. Let's go back to our phones and get our next call in. Boy, that's a rough crowd. When you're shunned by your fake brother, it's one thing to be shunned by your real brother. When your fake brother shuns you, you got. Let's get Joshy Boy in here. Joshy Boy, I got 3.5 minutes to play. Hit it. Polly Joe's going after you, Joshy.
I'm sorry, Joshy dropped.
Oh, who do we have?
Titans Bill.
Good call, Joshy.
William, hit it. You got 3 minutes. Hit it.
Tony.
I believe, Tony, that Mike Keith is going to be very happy to get in that booth, going to be getting that stadium because, you know, throughout the years that he has been the voice of the Tennessee Titans.
I bet he's going to have some cold chills, man. Last several years, Bill, you know what he's seen? Some pretty substandard football in that place, Bill. I bet he gets some cold chills going back to the home of that organization, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah.
Bill, what are you watching in the background?
I'm watching Law and Order.
Bill, you're Bill, hey, Bill, the thrilling conclusion of it's coming up. You're out of here.
Yeah.
So, on the way out, John, what happens today? What do you think?
Oh, I think Tennessee wins and covers. I'm just not enamored with Illinois' defense, even before they lost some key guys.
Would you bet your house on it, John?
No, I won't do that again.
He's busting your
bet. I'll bet your house on it.
Okay.
Hey, would you double your bet if you were me on the way out with MLK?
No.
Do you think I just wasted $50?
No, I think. Did you bet with the spread, or did you bet?
No, straight up.
Oh no, that's a bad bet.
Miami is going to rock them.
I agree with you about saying.
Right?
Yeah,
he's overrated.
I think Indiana exposed him.
Matt Diskin, what's our final here? What happens?
I think Tennessee does enough early to get a big lead, and they hold on 35-31.
35-31 and a nail-biter. Bino, what you got?
Tony, I attended the North Carolina game there. I attended the Purdue game there. They lost both. I was not at the Nebraska game. We won. I'm not there today. Tennessee wins.
Boy, Bino, you're a real winner. And until we meet again, I want to thank Dubsy. I want to say coming up, the great William Pattison is on the way next with his merry band. Russell Smith joins 3 o'clock today. I want to thank Ryan and everybody here for having us out. It's been an incredible day. Come out and support us the rest of the day here for your watch party. Ladies and gentlemen, bringing it to you right here, Fan Run Radio, Tennessee Tap House. That's going to do it for us. We're on with Garzalaw, fifth quarter fan reaction after the game. And G to the B to the O. We love you. Peace.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.